Hi everyone, it's Sue again. Just back today to just show you what I do or currently like to do with bits and pieces of packaging that I've kept. I just can't bear to throw them out. They're a little bit shiny, but that's not of any great concern to me. So this is Tim Holtz. I just love his packaging. It's all nice and grungy, so I tend to keep his mainly. But I just thought I'd show you the sort of things that I do keep. This is some Blue Fern Studio from some die cuts. So when I've got packaging, I tend to normally, I've just got a drawer beside me and I've got a file in there and I just put it all in there and then I trim it all up when I get time to do so. So even this grid you can use and be good for some journaling. Just some flowers from some stamps. I can't even remember what this was from, but it was packaging from something, stamps maybe. And I don't normally do a lot of brights, but I might do like a boho journal or something one day maybe. This is from a stamp as well. I would cover the back of that and use this as the front. Just some more grid and some more Blue Fern Studio. So they're the sort of things that I keep, you know, that have got nice images or something that's you can utilize. So what I thought I'd do is I'm just going to show you what I've been currently doing. I'm working on some journals at the moment, and I just thought I'd show you what I've been doing with some of the Tim Holtz packaging. So all I normally do is, because I like to sew on most of my bits and pieces in my journals, I will be sewing around these. So I just use a glue stick, and I'm not sure why I'm having so much trouble holding on to the piece of paper. So just add some glue there, and I'm just adding it onto some coffee dye paper. In most cases you can't see what's on the back here, which is good. So you can use this as a journaling spot. These can be cut into tags. I mean, there's so many things that you can do with the packaging. But this is just what I'm currently doing at the moment. So what I then do is I just cut this out, and then I will sew around it. So I have one that I've prepared earlier, which is exactly the same piece. And I've just sewn a zigzag stitch all the way around, and that's just been backed onto coffee dye paper. I'm going to use that. I'll show you what I do with that. So these are just some other bits that I've done. Like sometimes I don't get a lot of time to sit in my workspace, so I'll just grab these out and back them with paper and then let them dry. Next time I come back in, I'll sew around them. Half of these I can't even remember what they're from. This is from some stickers that I got from Wish. I mean, that's just beautiful. I mean, you could just use that as a journaling card if you wanted to. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you. These are Tim Holtz as well. Can you tell I like Tim Holtz product? So it just gives you a little bit of an idea. So I've got these. I'm going to use these as flips, which is what I'm going to show you now. So they're all prepared. I just like, in my journals, I like to have interactive pieces. So this is one of the journals that I'm working on at the moment. So I just thought I'd show you what I do with it in here. So I'm just going to make this into a flip. I'm sure you've seen me do flips and that type of thing before, but I just thought people there, I've got lots of new subbies, lots of new beginners that are new to junk journaling, and I just thought, you know, there's not everybody can afford to buy a lot of new products, and this is just a way, if you have bits and pieces like this, you can reuse them. And that's basically what a junk journal is upcycling your junk. So once upon a time I would have thrown these out, but now that I'm into making journals, mine aren't probably true junk journals because I tend to, you know, dye new paper or that sort of thing, but I like to think I'm you know, reusing bits and pieces. So all I've done there is I've cut some of Tim Holtz new fabric washi tape, and I've just cut it to the height of this piece here. And what I'm going to do, just pop that to the side. And if I can get the backing off, might need to put my glasses on, sorry. I am having an issue, there we go. I've got glue all over my fingernails. So I'm just going to pull that off. I like my threads hanging, so no, I like this bit here down the bottom. I'm going to keep that, and I'm just going to put half on the cardboard and half off. If it's not exactly straight, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then so you see I've got that sticky edge, part of the sticky edge. Now just let me have a, I don't want you to see this journal. So what I tend to do then is I just get my page, and I don't know whether you can see, so I just line that up where I want it to sit. Just put a little bit pretty much on the edge of the page, I like to do, and then I just like to press that over. Sorry if my head's in shot there. So just press that over. One thing I have found, and with this, because it's fabric, it if you manipulate it, you can stretch it, which is what I've done there. So what I will do is I'll get another piece of tape and I will just stick that down there. Just, it'll be an element, or you can put, you know, put a ruffle or something down that side if you want to cover up that crooked edge. So that, because that would annoy me. So then we're just going to flip the other side and just put another hinge, I guess you could say, on this side as well. So once again, it's nothing new. This has been done before. I just wanted to share just what I'm using my packaging for just at the present time. So there you have, and that is crooked as anything, but that's okay. You have a really easy flip in your journal, and you've basically used what you've already got. If you haven't got fabric washi tape, you can use normal washi tape. You can hinge it with fabric. I have done a video on that before. You can hinge it with paper. You know, there's ways to do it. This is just a quick and easy way of making an interactive piece in your journal. So now you'd have to have a special pen if you wanted to write on that, because it is actually glossy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a pocket on here, and then we can add a tag in that as well. So this is also some Tim Holtz fabric from his Eclectic Elements range. Just trying to get, so what I'm going to do is I just don't know whether this is going to tear very straight. Let me have a look. Just pop that to the side. Just to get rid of some of that excess thread. So I just fiddle and diddle around like this all the time. Oh dear, I know one of my subbies said to me, she screams at me and says, just do it, just do it. So I'm basically just trying to get the size, really, is what I'm trying to do for the pocket. Yeah. I'm just going to tear that. These bits I'll sew into ruffles, so I'm not wasting them. They come in handy. Okay. What I wanted was some of this bit here. So I'm going to cut the selvage off. that can all be frayed. I mean, the more you use the journal, this sort of thing, when you're handling it, it will fray naturally anyway. Oh, it's crooked as anything. That's got a bow in it there. That's all right. Once you fray, you won't even notice that. So basically what I'm trying to do is, you're probably thinking, what is she trying to do? I'm just trying to get a little bit of that variegation of colour there. And because I haven't really pre-thought what I'm doing, I am fiddling around. That's all part of the process, isn't it? Nothing just sort of happens. Well, very rarely happens, for me anyway. I've got to sort of muck around and try and get it the way you want. Okay, so this is quite a substantial pocket, so you could put a fair bit in there. So what I'm going to do though is, you can actually you could glue that down if you wanted to. You could actually add cardstock to the back to make it a little bit more substantial. These I'm not. I just like, it's floppy, it's tactile. I'm very tactile. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to sew around the 4 edges here, and I'm just going to quickly do that. Just need to move all the mess off my sewing machine. So I'm just going to quickly do that, guys. Just turn your volume down if it's too noisy. Shouldn't be too long. Okay, so I've sewn around the 4 edges. I'm going to snip some of that away. So this is frayed beautifully here. These will only fray to as far as your stitching. Your stitching is going to stop any further fraying. If you're really concerned, you can buy a product, I think, called Fray Stop. I just like the frayed look. So I'm just pulling that a little bit. As I said, the more you handle your journal when you've got something like this, the more it's going to fray up anyway. Get rid of all that excess there. Okay, so that's just a really easy fabric pocket. It's just something a bit more tactile. What I would do then is, I'm going to glue 3 sides. I'm going to use this clear glue. So just going to glue the 3 sides, and I always glue on top of the stitching. It just you get less seepage that way. Having said that, and I've just gone way off the stitching, but get rid of any spider webs, and it's just a matter of sticking it down. So easy. You could leave this as it is. So you can see I've got a bit of seepage there, but this type of fabric, it doesn't even really matter. It just looks like it's part of it. So just make sure you don't close your book, your journal, until that's dried. Okay. So that will stick down quite nicely, and that's going to be, you know, you can stick tags in the top there. And so that makes, you know, a nice little flip. So I'm just going to decorate just this little bit here. Just take it that one step further. You don't have to, you can leave it as is if you want to. Same thing, I'm loving Tim Holtz stamped images at the moment. So I think I'm going to use something of his there. And I'm also loving Kelly's Craft or Kelly Crafts on Etsy. I would try to remember, sorry guys, I'm not really good at remembering to do all that sort of stuff. I will try and remember to pop the links down below. So these are all her, all Kelly's labels on a printable. So I'm just going to use some of these. And I think I've said before in previous videos with the Tim Holtz stamped images, if I've got leftover bits and pieces on my desk after I've been crafting, I tend to just grab some of his stamps, not even necessarily his, but at the moment I'm just crushing on all his product. So I tend to just grab his and stamp a heap out. As you can see, these I haven't cut yet, but then if I'm sitting and just want a night off from watching telly, I don't like to just sit in front of the television doing nothing. I just sit there and I just cut all these out, and so they're ready to use in the journals. So just not 100% what I'm sure what I'm going to do, but I just had a thought too. I've got this from a selvage that I just cut. So I might even try and incorporate that onto the pocket. So, I mean, there's so many bits and pieces. I'm just going to ink that up a little bit just to take away the starkness of the white. Make it look a bit messy. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much that you can do with little bits and pieces around your house. You know, we're such a throwaway society. It's so nice to be able to do something, you know, with your journals and reuse bits and pieces. So let me just have a think. I just really don't know what I'm doing. Just playing around. Do I like that? I don't know. Let's just do it. I'm just going to pop a little bit of cheesecloth underneath just to give it another textural dimension. I'm going to just add a really big piece. Oh, well, this piece here. And I'm just going to pop it on there like that. And then, so however I had it, now I won't be able to remember. So maybe just something like that. So I'm going to stick down the element underneath first. One thing you just need to keep in mind here is that this glue may seep through your fabric pocket. So if you have some plastic or something, I've got a bit of old packaging here. I'm going to take the card out of it, and I'm just going to fold this plastic packaging up and just pop it in the pocket, just so that you can take that out and your pocket's not all going to glue to the underneath. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to pop that in there like that. So any seepage that comes through, it's going to come onto that plastic, and then we're going to peel that plastic out once we've finished and it's all dry. So I'm putting this down. Once this is dry as well, I'm going to be pulling the cheesecloth just to sort of roughen it up a little bit. I just had a dreadful thought that I wasn't on camera then. Okay, and then we're just going to glue this down as well. So this circle there, I'm going to push that down a little bit further and catch that. And I'm going to go back under with some glue just to stick all that down. Because you can see the I didn't put enough glue on for it to actually go through the cheesecloth and then attach to the pocket. So I'm just pressing that down. I'm going to have to go through and reapply glue. So I just lift and just add like that. Hold that down. So just a very quick, easy video just to show you. I was just been using a heap of packaging in these journals that I'm working on at the moment, and I just thought I'd just show you what I currently am using my packaging for. But as I said, you can make tags, you can make journaling cards. It's really only as limited as your imagination. So okay, so you should be pretty right there. There's no glue that's gone through that. And then I'm just going to, normally I would wait until these elements, the glue had dried completely before I did this, but I just wanted to show you, just rough it up. You can use your scissors to snip excess bits off if you don't want, certain bits there. I'm just going to cut that off. Just as I said, I'm holding it down because the glue's not dried yet. And I just don't want to interrupt or sort of upset that glue that's trying to dry underneath there. And then I just sort of rough it up. Yeah, so I'm going to have to just go back in with some glue because I didn't apply enough, just to make sure that all that sticks down. But you get the idea. So, I mean, I don't know, how long did that take? 15 minutes to do, so using up a bit of old packaging, making it into a flip, and then you've got a pocket here. So you can add, multiple tags and journaling cards and all that. So, and it takes a fair bit. And I just like the fact that there's, another tactile piece in the journal. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's just what I wanted to show you, what I was doing with my packaging currently. So don't throw it away. Put it in a box somewhere close by, because you can use it for all sorts of things. So all right, I'll leave it with you. Hope you're all keeping well, and until next time, I hope you get a little bit of crafting time in. See you soon. Bye bye.